Okay, so we're probably live, I guess.
Probably.
I'm live. YouTube tells me I'm live. So yeah, Mark is drinking Spaten, or the shovel, if you want to translate the German beer. I'm drinking.
Shovel?
Yeah, Spaten means shovel. Didn't you watch
Aw,
the
man.
logo on the can? It's a big
You ruined the
shovel.
magic. I don't know. You ruined the magic for me now, though. Thanks a
Oh,
lot.
it's still a good beer.
Whoa.
So I'm drinking Echt Schlenkerla Rauchbier, which means smoky beer, basically, from the brewery Schlenkerla.
Where's that made?
It's made in a tiny little village, a medieval village in the middle of Germany called Bamberg, and the brewery is called Schlenkerla, and it's been there since the year 1403. That's the year it says on the sign, anyway.
I just remember that I was already drunk when I drank some of that, and it was like, it was really weird.
Yeah, it smells like smoke, or you know those beer sausages that has a little bit of a smoky taste. You can get them in Germany anyway. It's kind of like that, but you drink it instead of eating it.
Oh, do you?
Well, you can try to eat beer, but you're gonna have to freeze it first.
I wonder what parts I can show on the live stream.
Don't show anything. Mr. YouTube censors, we're not showing anything not allowed on this stream, and we're not talking about a certain artist either, Mr. Kalle Sirén.
Can I show a piece of metal?
Cheers.
Yeah. Well, so.
Well, you're streaming from work, so any piece of metal you'll show is subject to YouTube censorship.
Yep, it's bad.
Yeah, they're gonna classify your head as illegal soon.
Gotta start exporting my head whenever I travel internationally now.
Let's see. Do we have anyone with us yet? Noble Carl, what's he saying?
I don't know how to look at the comments now from here.
So Noble Carl wants to know what the freight costs from Germany is for guns. 400 to 450 euro. It might be that expensive if they count the export paperwork from the German government. It might go up to that. So if that's all inclusive of all the paperwork and all that shit, it might be that cost. So I don't think I ever paid that much myself.
Yeah, my presence is a violation of it. Yeah, it's gonna be. And we're talking about. Remember that Tom Cruise movie? What was it? Where they had pre-crime, Minority Report.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna have pre-crime in the future for YouTube. Like if they think I'm about to show a picture of something with a
They
SWAT
did a
team
new
on it,
change on YouTube. Didn't you see that? It made a major change on YouTube. They implemented artificial intelligence for the users as well. Mainly so I turned monetization off because I'm still demonetized all the time, so I'm not even using it. Fuck them. But it basically is an AI for putting in commercials and shit, and you can use it on live stream, so they can disturb the live stream with a commercial when the AI feels like it's appropriate.
Wow, that's messed up.
That's one of the things. I don't know everything it does.
Oh. Well,
Butcherbird wants to know how you free float an AK gas tube. You put a handguard attached to the receiver over all of that shit, and then you free float it. That's my solution anyway. And that's the only one I've ever seen.
How do you free float a long recoil gun?
Well, it's possible to free float an AK, but it's not pretty, and it's not. Yeah, it just looks silly. Get an AR-15 if you want to have it free floated. Don't they make? A friend of mine got one of those. I don't remember the brand, but the gun is called the Mutant or something. It's an AR platform that shoots 7.62 by 39.
CMMG Mutant.
Yeah, CMMG. That's the company. So he's getting that one now, and I don't know why.
Why not?
Get a regular AK if you want to shoot 7.62 by 39. That's much more fun, according to me at least. But yeah, he's probably gonna have fun with it.
Well, I want to talk about this thing that I can't show. I can just show the tip, just the tip. really it's a cool thing. I actually started off, and I did a video about this a while back, I think. I started out trying to design a magazine well for an MP5 because you don't know unless you actually try to do it, but the MP5 mag well is kind of complicated. It's weird. You know, a lot of guns, you either shove it in or you rock it in. The MP5, you do both. So it's really odd. There's clever Germans, you know. But I made the mag well was the starting point. I wish I could. But I went from there. I said, you know what? Let me just make this thing go out, then make it go up, and make it go. Then I made a whole gun starting from the magazine well, which is kind of fun.
Yeah. So the MP5, yeah, that's gonna work. Stop it! Don't fuck with my channel. Anyway, the MP5 magwell is they could have flared it a little bit. You're gonna have to be precise when you put it in, as the girl said.
Yeah, put it in. It's great though, because the mag goes in. Wait, are we allowed to show magazines?
No.
Jesus. Okay, well down here I've got a magazine, and I'm shoving it in and I'm rocking it. See the rocking?
Yeah, like an AK or something.
Yeah, but it's the best of both worlds. So you've got a mag that's got plenty of slot going in, and then you rock it in so it's solid and it stays exactly where it's supposed to be when you fire it. So that's pretty cool.
Well, it kind of works to just push it in with an AR. Isn't that more practical than a rocket?
Yeah, but you're going to have slop. If you have to have clearance for the mag to shove straight in, then it's going to have some slop when it's locked in. With this, you got the slop of going straight in, but then once you rock it in, it's rich.
So for me, just pushing it in like an AR, the reason that is preferable for me is just user simplicity. It's one motion instead of two or something, whatever it is with a rock.
Yeah, and obviously it works fine.
So and it's also practical to press the magazine release button and it just falls down, right?
Yeah, well,
and an AK, you're gonna have to push it and rock it out as well.
Yeah, I definitely prefer.
But it's really in there with metal surfaces all around and all that, so it's not gonna fall out, right?
Yep.
But it's just the entire magazine is just. It's only those surfaces as well, but an AR has a much larger mag well that supports the whole thing. Like a third of the magazine is inside of the gun, the lower.
I got 50 cal Val on the other side of the wall. Let's see if I can get her out. Valerie!
Did you tell her that you're streaming?
Yeah, he's like, I don't know. She's like pathologically, driven to not ever be on video again.
Mark, do you know anyone from...
You never talked to him. Do it for 2 seconds. Come on. I made you.
Whatever. Do you know anyone from PSA? Do you know anything about their HMG STG 44?
No. Oh, no. Yeah, I know they bought that, but I hate to say it because I met the Hill and Mac guys. They seemed alright, but obviously that whole project was I think clusterfuck. And the main thing I didn't like about it though is they I don't know, they kind of did their own artistic license with the look of the thing, and it's just wrong.
I don't remember those videos. Those were pretty old.
It's just like the little stiffener bumps are in the wrong place. Look, I got my buddy here. Yeah.
Aww, so cute.
It smells like
hello.
Allie, say hi to Henry. Look.
Hi.
Hello. Greetings from Sweden.
Yeah, this guy's pretty awesome. Especially
I
considering what he's made of. Thanks, goddamn Valerie.
No, that's cute. That's very cute.
Yeah. Stuff in his face. Hi, Theo.
Yeah,
it's crazy how kids, you just never know how they're going to be. Like my son just had a boy 4 months ago. Theo is a year and 2 months. But their boy almost weighs as much as he does. He's a beast.
He's going to be a giant.
Yeah, he is.
I was hunting with my old friend from Great Britain. He works in North Africa. I got to know this person when my family lived in North Africa. So he has this big villa in the Sahara Desert, but he also owns a castle in the south of England and also a mountain in Scotland. So I've been there pheasant hunting and hunting on his. I shot my first red stag on his mountain. Anyway, so he showed up hunting moose in all the tweed clothes and everything. But he brought his 3 sons with him, and had a really great time hunting with his 3 sons. And the eldest son he works in the British military with Apache helicopters, and as a mechanic, some kind of, I don't know, officer or whatever. And he told me the most fun thing ever. Do you know how do you usually fix an Apache helicopter?
No.
You turn it off and on again.
Like a computer.
Yeah, apparently it's a little bit more scientific than that. There's a bunch of relays and shit that needs to power cycle or something, or discharge, or there's something like that. He tried to explain it, but I didn't understand.
Yeah, great. Go fly it. Yeah, my daughter and her husband and my grandson, they're just here. She works from home now. She hardly ever comes by. She comes by like every 8 weeks. Happened to come in today, which is good. Get some a little bit extra help. But I gave everybody a half day, so everybody is leaving at 2 p.m. today, and of course I'll be here till 6 or 7 or 8. I've worked on some cool stuff. This thing I'm not allowed to show on the camera. Pretty neat. Yeah, the thing is, the 3D printer guys, they want to print all this stuff out there. Like, they want to print everything, and then anything that's metal, they want to buy it from Home Depot or Lowe's or some random hardware store. And it's like, okay, that's great, but
I'm considering making a big sensor. Black box, so only your nose is visible. Let's see if I can make that.
Anyway, this thing, like, I want the bolt to ride on these ejector pins that they use in the plastic molding world. And they're these really great. They're hardened and ground and heat treated at nitride. So they're these pins that are super hard and slick. They're perfect for a bolt to ride back and forth on, and they're like a couple dollars a piece because they make these things like. Make tons and tons of them. They're amazing. So it's like, yeah, you're not going to find that at Lowe's or your random neighborhood hardware store, but you're going to find them online. MSC, MasterCard, eBay, Amazon. So lots of places you can get them. But some people are just, I don't know, they've got this thing. I want to be able to walk in here and get everything. I think, no, do a little bit of work, okay? One thing about 3D printing, you got to grab all the extra plastic crap out.
Yeah, been there, done that. There's always a bunch of support structure you have to remove.
God, it's not bad, man. It's
when you do resin prints, you have to put them in a box with UV lights and whatnot.
Oh, no, that's the other kind. Yeah, I've got 2 of those, but I don't use them anymore.
I do them
so anyway, we're talking about the
silly stuff like this.
We're talking about the STG-44. I don't know. Like I said, it's so stupid, but I'm sure some people will agree with me. The little stiffener bumps, like those things I made in one of my sheet metal videos. Those bumps have a certain pattern, and they look so right. But the Yellow Mac is just like, oh, here's some bumps there, and we'll put bumps too. They're not right.
Yeah, if you're gonna make something like an STG-44 clone, you're gonna have to be anal about the small details as well, because it's gonna be expensive as all hell. And if you want some kind of collector who's not able to get access to an original white whale, then it's gonna have to be pretty close, because it's however you make it's gonna be a boutique expensive gun, right?
Yeah, that shit matters. So I don't know. I guess if PSA just runs with it, it'll do okay, I guess.
They're gonna make some tactical version with rails and shit on it.
Yeah,
it wouldn't surprise me.
Now with M-Lock.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna be hilarious. Did I tell you the story when I shot my one and only time I shot an STG-44?
Yes, but I'm drinking, so I forgot. Hey, Valerie just went by again. Valerie, get over here. What are you doing? Oh, he's down.
Yeah, well, I just talked to one of my friends that was with me that time when we got to borrow that STG-44 in a parking lot in Swedish from a one-armed German soldier. Uh, he lives in a valley just north of Zurich in a really cute little village, and he's making a model train all through his backyard, and he has these train cars where you can put beers on them, so you can drive it just from the grill to the table or wherever.
Give me a beer, please. And an opener. God damn it. Even my 2.5-year-old daughter, or granddaughter, will bring me a beer. My actual daughter.
Stormy in chat is commenting about the state probably want to ban 3D printers or whatever. The fun part about that is a certain P.A. Luty did a book many years ago about how to just build shit out of shit you find in a hardware store, and it's probably simpler than getting a 3D printer and learning CAD and whatnot.
Yeah, depends. Look at that.
Yeah, look at the logo on that bottle inside a red little thing.
I didn't know it was a shovel. I thought it was a penis head or something. But
so you've been drinking Spaten for a long while and you never noticed the shovel? Blowing minds. Let's see if we can show the Spaten logo for everyone. Let's Google Spaten logo. Yeah, so I'm gonna share this shit. Boop, 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 window. Boop, boop. There we go. So that is a shovel. It's kind of obvious, right?
Unless you're me.
Yeah. So I had a look to see if I could find something fun to talk about, but I noticed. So you sometimes notice the absence of things is when you try to find information about things. Some things are just gone, right? And you start to wonder, why is that? Why is that gone? So a big thing happened in Sweden 1st of August, for hunters anyway. So I've always been able to buy whatever the fuck I want, because I made my own rules and told the police to sit and rotate, and managed to beat them in court. Then I can own whatever I want. And then I taught everyone else how to do that. It's a little bit of a song and a dance, legal-wise, but it's possible. Now they changed the rules, so you know how certain states or countries have rules about what's allowed while hunting, what kind of guns.
Sure.
So we used to have a bunch of fashion FUD rules in Sweden, and those got removed on August 1st, which means that as long as you have an 18-inch barrel, you can have whatever semi-auto you want, like an AR or an L1A1 or whatever. Yeah, there is a shovel in there, I told you. So I checked every hunting organization's webpage, every hunting newspaper, everything. There's zero information about this in all the official hunting outlets or whatever you want to call it.
It's really weird.
They just don't talk about it, but it's kind of a big deal, because these are rules that govern how people hunt, what equipment they can hunt and etc. But they don't even mention it anywhere.
Are they just trying to stay under the radar because they're like, we're lucky as shit to have this?
Yeah, but a lot of people know about this. Anyone who sells like an AR-10 with an 18-inch or a 20-inch barrel or whatever, they're all sold out. I know a lot of people who has these guns now just because they can. They're also better guns than old FUD guns, obviously. So yeah, we'll see. I'll get my own one tomorrow. I'm gonna go and meet a guy and give him my 338 Lapua Magnum rifle, because I don't really use it. I've been to one competition with it. It was awesome, but that's like the only competition ever, and I owned it for 10 years or something. So I barely shot it. It's unnecessary for me to have it, so I'm gonna sell it and buy an AR-10 instead.
Now you'll be able to take the AR-10 out, moose hunting, so you'll get to carry it around for several years.
Yeah, I get to open carry it in a forest. That's awesome.
You might get to shoot it one day.
Yeah, well, probably not. I gotta shoot it at a shooting range.
You know, I don't own an AR-10. Just,
You don't? Well, they're kind of fun. I own one in 6.5 Creedmoor, the Heiner one.
Yeah, right. I've got 3 guns in 308. I've got my I've got an FN Scar that I have not fired, which is silly, but one day I will. I've got an M60 and I got an M240. That's all I got in 308.
Did you say an M60?
M60 and an M240.
That's awesome.
Because I don't have anything normal in 308.
One day I'll visit you and I'm gonna try to hip fire that M60 with a red band tied over my forehead.
And go, oh boy, I had a tough morning. From 9 to 11, I played pickleball. It's a very popular geezer sport over here. I tell you, it's a lot of fun. It's a hell of a workout. It really is. I mean, it doesn't have to be, but the way I play it is.
I haven't worked out for a while now since I've been sick and all that.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I feel lazy. Well, I've been lazy.
By the way.
Yeah, put a thumb in it.
I'm doing a special project for him. I can't talk about it, of course, but it'll be very interesting. It's talking about something you've never seen before.
Never been done before. What did old Michael Jackson wannabe talk about? Oh no, I mentioned the forbidden name.
Oh, that's all right. You know what? Speaking of never been done before, you know the little crazy 10-inch barrel, short barrel rifle that I made for Edwin. You know, the 50 cal that have a crazy blast.
A 10-inch 50 cal?
Yeah, the little. Didn't you see his video? We had 2 of me.
Oh yeah, the pistols.
Yeah, well, they're NFA because I made them short barrel rifles. But I was saying, you know what? If these things had an 11 3/4 inch barrel, then we permanently attach the muzzle brake, so the overall length of the barrel is 16 inches. Then they're legitimate rifles. So now they don't have to be SBR. You don't have to worry about running afoul of the ATS. The law.
Yeah. You don't wanna make 50 cal into banned pistol API or something.
So a weird thing happened to us. We've been buying barrels from the same vendor for, I don't know, a couple of decades. And these barrels came from another country, and now the U.S. Version, U.S. subsidiary, started making the barrels instead of having to ship them across the ocean. So anyway, we got this first batch of barrels, and we just put them on the machine. You know, we do the first op, second op, and all of a sudden we realized there's like a huge bunch of barrel in the middle that's not getting the machine. Like, what the hell's going on? Turned out the barrels were like an inch longer than they used to be. Like, what the hell? We've been getting these things forever. We've got thousands and thousands, and we never check the length because just they are where they are. And now it's like, God dang it! So we've got to cut off that inch before we do all the machine, you know, or change the step in the program. But the one cool thing is when we cut these things down to make the 22-inch barrel to 18-inch barrel, now we've got a barrel chunk that's left over. There used to be like the longest one left over was a foot long. Now the longest one was, anyway, the longest one now is 13 inches. So now we can get that 11 3/4 inch barrel, which is really exciting. Now we've got barrels that we can use for this crazy little zip.
Yeah, you can do a barbecue with 50 cal in that barrel length.
Yeah, I put a picture of me firing one in the air on Instagram. It's covering my ears and firing up. I call it like a fire penis or something.
Mark, you have a lab radar now. We need to chronograph that with regular ball ammo just to see what kind of speed you're getting. It would be hilarious. It would be hilarious to make an integrally suppressed, like an MP5 version with a 50 cal. I'm not sure how thick you would have to make the suppressor.
Well, you know, I did a video on those guns, and I was kind of, you know, I said, you know, the Group A people, Group B people, Group C is like, oh, it's stupid, why would you ever do that? And the thing is, I was kind of that frame of mind, but if you look at the interior ballistics, it's actually like 1,800 feet per second or something. That's a big bullet going, you know, Mach 2 almost. That's plenty fast.
With that barrel length?
Yeah. It's crazy. It has more energy than any, like there's a graph they have or a table of different energy required to take down any game. It has enough energy to take down any game on the planet. So
Yeah. Well, it's still a 50 cal. It's a lot of bullet weight going forward.
I'm not going to shoot a Cape Buffalo in the face with it. I'm using a 26-inch barrel for that.
Yeah, you get a little bit more speed that way. It's such a slow burning powder in 50 cal, so you need a long barrel length basically. But still, 1800 feet per second at 13 inches,
Yeah.
that's good. That's good enough. It's still supersonic.
Yeah, very.
So if you can, I don't know, you probably just eat up like a one-shot suppressor or something, depending on the material you use. But if you manage to port it to bleed out a little bit gas, and you get the speed of a ball round down to like just above 1,000 feet per second, then you're gonna have an MP5 in 50 cal, and it would be hilarious. But it probably not worth the effort, obviously. But just me thinking stupid thoughts.
You know, my Africa trip got canceled. Actually, it was just supposed to be less than a month ago, but we're postponing it to February, and I'm bringing a 50A, but I kind of wanted to make something special just for, dangerous game type stuff, because, semi-auto, or if you have a jam, you're gonna get a Cape Buffalo over your butt. But
yeah,
I was thinking, wouldn't it be cool as hell to have you could have a cylinder only about 4 inches in diameter, maybe even less. You could fit somewhere around 4 or 5 rounds of 50 cal in a revolver. Now, I don't want a revolver, traditional one where you got a gap. That's a hell of a lot of blast. But,
yeah, that's not good.
Stealing type, where the revolver goes forward.
Yeah.
I like that idea. So you imagine a pump action, and part of it, when you pump it forward, it actually has like a lever that shoves the whole cylinder forward. You got a cone going into a cone, so it's steel.
Yeah, that could work. Or we could do a new Wildcat caliber, Mark. A 50 cal Nagant round. With a straight ball, and the bullet is recessed into the casing, but it's 50 cal. So we could do that. We chop off the neck of the 50 cal round, put a 50 cal bullet inside of that, seal it somehow with wax or whatever, and then we make a big ass revolver out of that. It's technically possible. It's retarded, but
Yeah, you've seen the spotter tracer rounds, right? That's a nice idea. In fact, I like to do a spotter tracer. It's considerably shorter than the standard 50 BMG. Load that up with not pistol powder, but something faster burning than 50 BMG stuff, and use a fairly short barrel. That'd be cool.
It's doable.
Big payload.
Yeah, can you pressure test stuff? You have equipment.
Yeah.
Then you have everything you need to make a new Wildcat caliber that's stupid but fun. You have a CNC, right? You can make some kind of tooling for reloading.
Yeah.
Get one of those presses for 50 VMG, and then just make. They have a larger scale of tooling for reloading.
I've got a rock chucker press for 20 millimeter. I've got a huge press.
Yeah, that's obviously too much effort for a stupid idea, but it would be hilarious if I had the time to do something like that. I know some people that make custom tools for reloading, so I could technically have it made myself. It's not even that expensive if I have the measurements. So, but I don't. Obviously, it's too much paperwork in Sweden, but yeah, to make your own caliber and all that shit.
Yeah, it's no big deal here. You just go to the Reamer people and say, hey, do this for me.
Yeah, land of the free, the land of the brave. Florida.
For now. Yeah, you hear Biden just formed some kind of committee on gun safety. It's like...
Yeah, a lot of talk. I haven't read up about it, but apparently gun owners in the United States lost something in the Supreme Court recently. Is that true? Some case? I don't know. I haven't followed that shit. I'm just happy that I can own whatever the fuck I want in Sweden. So it's ironically easier to get machine guns in Sweden, at least new ones, than it is in the US.
Yeah, that is.
I got a member from my shooting club who told me, Henrik, can't you make it so I can get this machine gun? Oh, no. The police told us we can't have any more machine guns in my shooting club. We already have so many.
Oh, they're no fun. Yeah, actually, I was thinking about that for this thing that I can't show you. I'd like to make a version that takes the Swedish K-Mags.
Yeah, do it. I can get you a bunch of K-Mags if you need.
Oh, I got them. Remember, I got them. He gave me a bunch of little strips. So they're nice to load.
Weren't you gonna make your own Swedish K? I have this.
Yeah. I got the part. It's kind of down on the list of things I'm supposed to do, though.
That'll be hilarious. Making a Swedish K. Is it? Do you have the? Well, if you need any measurements or anything, I have one in my safe.
I know. I remember. Remember, I shot it one shot at a time.
Yeah, we're not allowed to fire it full auto.
Like,
it's funny because the military doesn't allow you to fire full auto either. So I was at a military shooting range talking to a bunch of officers, teaching them about, since I have a bunch of Russian shit. So I brought my Dragunov and everything and taught them how that shit works. And we were test firing it, and I brought a Swedish K just because I could. And I thought, well, I'm at a military shooting range. Obviously, I'm allowed to fire full auto, right? Yeah, the officers were pretty upset with me when I mag dumped a Swedish K. Well, that's not allowed. Oh, sorry.
In the U.S., you can do it out of a car window while you're driving.
Yeah, you have to be in the suburbs to Stockholm, then it's allowed.
Actually, I was driving to a machine gun shoot once. This was many statute of limitations years ago.
Okay, noted.
Going along, and I loaded up a mag. It was actually Sten mag. The ROS submachine gun that I did a video on, at least a couple of videos. So I'm going along to this shoot. It's out in the middle of nowhere. So I'm driving along. It's US 19, which is a very busy road, but not once you get farther north. So go along, and all of a sudden, here's a line of freaking vultures on the side of the road eating a dead thing. I'm like, holy shit. So I hung a UE, put my hearing protection on, rolled the window down, stuck a mag in. So I went by and did a drive-by of those vultures. Just the whole line of them, freaking submachine gun. They'll ferry you under the jail if they catch you for that shit. But God, it was funny. I mean, in a sick kind of way, but it was funny.
Yeah, apparently there's a bunch of signs all over Texas that have bullet holes in them.
Texas? You mean America?
Well, America, probably.
I don't
Skull.
see signs anymore. Roast. Or skull, yeah, sorry, Ron.
Yeah, they say...
1950 cal Val walking by. Oh, I don't know where she went. She'll do anything to not be in the camera, I'll tell you that. Yeah, she was really into it.
So the missus got a big contract for a job. She's an art conservator, so she got a church from the 1200s, and she's super happy, and she's waiting for me to be done with this so we can go out and celebrate. So I'm not gonna have a long stream today. I'm just telling. I still have a little bit of beer left.
All right. Yeah, it was funny. Remember, have you seen that movie, The Invention of Lying?
No.
Oh man, hilarious.
You know I don't own a TV and I never go to the cinemas.
You can watch this online now or Netflix. You know Netflix?
Well, no, I don't have Netflix.
Oh man, it's a really funny premise. It's this society where no one has ever told a lie, and so
What's the name?
It's The Invention of Lying.
Well,
And it's hilarious because the guy actually figures out to tell a lie, and he's told the first lie that's ever been told, and it just changes everything because people expect that what you say is absolutely true because lying doesn't exist. But just think about where that can go, and it's just hilarious.
yeah, I can imagine. That's a funny premise.
It's unbelievable. And people say exactly what they're thinking too. Like this guy goes to a restaurant with this really hot chick, and they sit down. The waitress comes up. She goes, "Hi, I'm threatened by you." Pointing to the girl. I'm threatened by you. But yeah, just some hilarious shit.
So how do you feel about the lab radar?
For someone who's I've had a couple of chronographs over the years. In fact, I can find the other one. I think I've already shot it, but if I haven't, I'm going to shoot it again, destroy it.
Yeah, everyone who's ever owned a chronograph has shot the chronograph. So the best part about a Labrador is you have it behind the muzzle, right?
Oh,
So I'm gonna give you a few tips, Mark. There is guys who they 3D print and solder this thing where you basically tape an accelerator to your gun, and then you put it into the mic on the Labrador. What that does is it makes the Labrador activate by recoil instead of by sound. And it's probably not something you need because you're in your workshop and you're the only one firing guns. But if you're at the shooting range and other people are firing guns and you want to use your Labrador, then it's going to activate when other people shoot as well. So that's super annoying. And just a general tip: use a USB power bank instead of those what is it, AAA batteries or AA? Yeah. So it's much easier to just use a USB power bank. I put Velcro on it so I can just stick it on there, just a small USB power bank, and you don't have to worry about batteries ever. And the app is okay, but you don't need it. And I noticed that you didn't make new series for every gun. So it's just a button press on the Labrador, then you have a new series, because all the calculations on velocity and all that shit is gonna be off when you don't make a new series. It's just a button press, Mark.
I know, but I just got this thing. The first time I used it was the day I made the video. So.
Yeah, it's not a complicated piece of kit. It just works. The biggest downside of a Labrador is that it's the connectors are a little bit weak. It's not meant for field use. Basically, you're gonna have to be a little bit baby it a little bit. Also, it's big, so it's more gear to bring to the shooting range. Basically, so I have it in its own bag, and I just bring it when
for here in the shop.
It's an extremely accurate measuring device. And it's a little bit sci-fi with a Doppler radar and all that. Well, it's not new technology, but I still feel it's cool. Yeah. It's better than just two lights and a shade, right?
Yeah, I shot skeet with the inventor of the gun diode, which is what they use to make radar solid state. So that's pretty cool. Guy, the old English guy, dead now. That was kind of cool. Like, you're the gun of the gun oscillator? Holy shit. And my buddy used to date his daughter. Long story.
Small word.
He's dead too. Shot himself in the head with a nine. Yeah, he was...
Guns are dangerous.
He was my mentor growing up, but he was a little... had seasonal depression, which was weird for a multi-millionaire, but whatever. He was a pilot, machinist, motorcycle rider.
Money doesn't make you happy. It's what you do with the money. And how many guns you buy with the money that makes you happy.
How much ammo you have.
Yeah, that's true. You cannot have too much money. I think I was like some kind of ammunition dragon in my previous life. I can just imagine myself as a dragon lying on top of a pile of ammunition.
Ammunition dragon. So where are you guys going for dinner? Are you going to a restaurant?
There's this restaurant that we haven't gone to yet in the neighborhood. We're gonna go there and have some dinner and beer. Yeah, it's not that late here. It's just like 7:30 in the evening. So.
Hey, is that Leo who left a comment? Your buddy Leo from?
I don't know if it's him. There's more than one Leo in Sweden, I guess.
No, there is.
Yeah. They're working their asses off at Action Reaction Sports, Leo and Anton. I have to do some paperwork with them to get that Slovenian gun. Don't be naughty,
I like that. This is just a piece of metal. This is totally Yeah, it's funny. The GB22 frame. I actually found the original. Like I had my buddy laser cut 3 of them, and we're talking 1999 maybe. And one of them I actually built into a gun. I turned it into a police buyback. But the other 2, I've got the frames over there. It's funny because they're not that good. It's mainly because the trigger, when you bend the frame on the trigger, it doesn't have enough cut. So it doesn't have enough area to bend. But,
I have a question, Mark.
Yeah, you on the front row.
If you fuck up one of your silly gun builds, do you turn them into gun buybacks just to get little bit of money back?
You know, even for that, I'd still rather keep the fuck up. I hate those gun buybacks.
Yeah, it's stupid.
I like the idea of them giving me money.
There's always some old lady where her husband died, and she finds like an STG-44 or something, or a Luger or whatever, and she goes with it to the gun buyback, and everyone whoever knows anything about guns wants to strangle her.
Yeah, that's actually happened. That exact same gun.
Yeah, I know. I read the news about that one. That's why I mentioned it. It's stupid. Yeah, we don't have gun buybacks in Sweden. Once in a while, we have something called like an amnesty for turning in illegal guns. So people come in with guns they find in walls and shit like that. And if someone died and they didn't do anything about it 50 years ago, and they have some gun in the attic, they come in with that. So it's like old hunting rifles and shit like that. Naughty.
This is from a show shot.
I think you're physically incapable of.
That's a bolt from a show shot from 1917. I can't imagine how they can machine stuff like that long.
Just artists, basically. That's just art. That's not a CNC you program.
This production. This is freaking. They made hundreds of thousands of these pieces of shit.
It's pretty impressive. And all those old guns are so complicated. Just look at the Luger with this Rube Goldberg machine called a Luger, where you pull the trigger and then it turns this thing there, and there's a spring that goes out of the upper, and then it goes to it just goes all over the gun before it fires the bullet. Right. It's ridiculous. And that shit, they made a lot of that shit, the Lugers.
Yeah. These guys, it's funny, it actually has two cam cutouts, you see? Got
two of them?
Two sets of cam cutouts and two cams.
Yeah. Mark, I think I better end the stream now, because you're starting. Your inhibitions of showing shit is starting to go away, and also I'm out of beer, and yeah.
I'm all out of beer.
Yeah, it's horrible, I know. So yeah, we have to do this again, I guess.
Yeah, why not?
We could do just a regular and just thing like this, but we record it instead of doing it live, and then you can show whatever the fuck you want.
Right. Well,
that might be something. If you obviously have fun stuff to show. Yeah, but you probably have to get a better mic before we do something like that.
Yeah, you can school me on that. I'll get some good shit here.
But you had a really good mic when we did it last time, and we got censored.
Yeah. Well, I'll get a good one for the shop too.
Yeah. You go have a nice week.